to the fitting bay, guys. This is Nathan. Today we're going to be doing a full head unit install on this Nissan Dualis. We're going to go through how to pull the car apart, take the factory radio out, put the aftermarket radio in, wiring, microphone, all the bits and pieces. And yes, so let's jump into it. Okay guys, so inside the Nissan Dualis, your factory radio should look something like this. So basically what we're going to do is remove this panel. It's all just clips, and then unscrew the radio. So first thing we like to do is key in the ignition and just see if there's any CDs. Alright, so nothing in there. Alright, next up we have some panel removal tools, plastic ones. And what we're going to do is just start prying the head unit out. So we can go from sort of down here, and we don't want to go too hard. Okay, so this panel comes out first, as we can see. So nice and easy. I'm just going to remove that. Okay, we'll move them out of the way. Now, if a panel like this comes off first, just have a look for some screws. There usually might be hidden screws, not in this car. You can push this shift lock down. Alright, we'll get that out of the way. There's one plug here, which you just want to push the pins and remove. And then we can go back to our main panel. So nice and easy. Not too much pressure on anything, guys. Just like that. Alright, there's a little plug behind this hazard switch with a little pin. You might be able to get it with your fingers. If not, you can use this or a pick. You just want to press the pin down, pull it out. Okay. Now we have 4 Phillips head screws, and then we can remove the head unit. So behind the radio, we've got some plugs. We're just gonna, they've all just got push down pins on them. I'll show you in a sec. Okay, put that radio down. So all of these plugs just have little pins on them like this. They just push in. This one was a bit harder. I used a pick on it. Another one here, and this plug as well. Now, this is the antenna. So if you're not sure on what bits and pieces you need for your car, I'll put a link in the description for a website. Basically, go onto the website, put your car in, and it will just tell you all the bits and pieces that you need. So, okay, now let's take the factory radio over to the bench and mount the aftermarket unit. Okay guys, so as you see here, we've got the AirPro CHNI Uni. So this is a universal Nissan steering wheel control plug, harness and module, antenna adapter. So that's what I was saying, something like that on that website is what you'll need, and the patch lead as well. So these are the things you'll need. This is the Sony XAV-AX5000. So what we'll do is grab the genuine radio and look at how we're going to mount the aftermarket unit. Okay guys, so when putting the bracket from the factory to the aftermarket, a couple things we want to look at is a lot of the times they will have little locating pins here, and they'll locate themselves on the aftermarket unit, and you can sort of match up exactly how it is. But what I like to do is just get the radio in sitting the same way, and then just have a look at what screws are going to roughly line up with what. So we can see this top screw here is most likely going to line up with that screw hole there, which on the universal we've got T and then a hole. So we can start unscrewing this bracket, mounting it onto there. Alright, on second thought, like I said, so looking at that, didn't really line up, but what we can do is just try again. So actually this screw does come down a little bit further down, so these pinholes actually line up, and we're going to line up with that screw there. See, if you notice that falls into place. Here, you can't really feel this, but it doesn't really line up. Here, just falls into place. So for this particular job, that's the way we're going to do it. Obviously single DIN chassis, we're not going to be able to mount anything here, but with these 2 screws that will be fine. Alright, another thing we want to look at is the thread. So the factory thread on the screws is different to the thread that the Sony unit gets. So in the packaging you will have some screws that have a little bit of a different thread. They'll be better for the Sony unit. Okay, so basically that makes sense. Now this unit will slide in to the hole that we have in the dash of the Nissan, and then the fascia, obviously put our screws in, fascia goes together, and we're off to the races. So we can put that to the side. A couple side notes, we'll show you how to run the microphone. That goes in the glove box for the passenger, along with the remote, obviously out of the packaging. Okay, now the wiring, guys. So, let's do this. If you jump on the website, it's going to tell you you need this, which is obviously the adapter plug for the Nissan, and it's got the module for the steering wheel controls, alright, that we won't use. Antenna adapter, plugs into the antenna, blue wire wants to get power. And then the other thing you might need, so that's at step 1, is step 2, which is the Sony side. So this goes to, let's pull it out. Plugs into the car. See this ground wire in the black? So what you want to do is plug it in, and if the black wire on the corresponding side doesn't have a big thick black wire going into it, you need to ground that. If it does, this is alright, okay? Because they just get connected together in here. Alright, plug it in. You've got universal ISO plugs. Obviously, this is what comes in the box with the Sony. Not gonna work. So you can get step 2 and make it plug and play, or chop, obviously while it's not plugged in. And it's simple as color to color, guys. So green, green, black, green, green, black. All right, white, white, black, gray, gray, black, purple, purple, black. 2 yellows to the 1 yellow. Orange, don't even use its illumination. These units have automatic dimming. Black to black, 2 reds to red. Easy. I've got a video showing you exactly how to do this in detail if you want more explanation, but for now we're just going to speed up the footage. Alright guys, so what we have here is we've created a loom. Okay, so this will plug in to the Nissan harness. If we need to ground that, we will. That will plug into the antenna plug. Okay, this will plug into aftermarket radio. That will plug into the steering wheel remote plug. Reverse I've left bare like this. You can chop and tape that up if you want, but we're doing a reverse camera as well. If you want to see a video on that, drop a comment below and we will do one. Also, I've left these dip switches free, so if you buy this exact kit from TDJ or AirPro, there's dip switches that need to be set. Now, it might be in the instructions, they should be, but I usually just jump online However, they are here. So Nissan, there's 4 configurations to try. You have to try all of them until you find the one that works with the car. We'll go through that together anyway. Okay guys, we're back in the car. So first thing we'll do, plug in the plug. All right, it only goes one way. So as we see here, no wire corresponding. So with this black wire, there's a screw up the back here. It does 2 things. It screws these in place, and it also mounts to a massive piece of metal at the back there, which is obviously the body of the car. So what we want to do is go ahead, screw it to that. So we now have ground. Put a bit of tape around this. Next thing, microphone. So we'll pull that out. Now what I like to do with the mic is mount it in the roof lining. So as we see, we've got this style of bracket. So what we can do is gently pull the roof lining down, mount it on there. Alright, we'll go in the middle. You can see it's a bit loose. So I like to get a bit of tape and just go around there. Last thing you want is this thing jumping around and flapping around while you're driving. So put some tape around there to make that thicker. Okay. Go over to the driver's side. Next thing, crusty removal tools, plastic. In underneath. Alright, and gently pry out. Okay, once you start getting it, you can almost use your hands. Have a look at what's going on in there. So I can already see the type of clip that's holding it in. So you can get another tool and release the clip. So for instance, that, like that. Okay, once you've released all the clips, you can slide the panel up. Alright, place it down. So the clips, as you can see here, we've got factory wiring running through them. They have little clips that go into these holes here. So what I use is the screwdriver just to pry them open a bit. And then what you want to do is put these back into their little housing. And then we can start, make sure our hands are clean, start looking at bringing this wiring around. So what I like to do, pull down, we're going to tuck inside the roof lining, try and get it pretty far back. We're going to go on the other side of this clip. It just looks better that way. Tuck it back nice and far, okay? Looks neat. Just run your hands along, make sure there's no wiring. And then we'll go with the factory wiring. Put a bit of tape. They've got fabric tape there, so I've got fabric tape and we'll use it. Just like that, guys. Now, there's a panel on this side. It is just clips, so it sits on the dash like that. We've just popped it in there, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 clips that release. And then pretty much from behind the glove box through here to there, you can see through. So it's nice and easy to get through. Okay, obviously we can't go behind the glove box because of the way this one's set up. So we're going to use a snake. This is a coat hanger. So I've pulled the coat hanger out in the past. What we've done is obviously straightened it out, bent the ends so they're rounded with a pair of side cutters or vice grips, and then just put some tape around it so that way we don't have any sharp ends. What we're going to do is have a look through there, above the glove box, feed it through. All right, nice and easy. Okay guys, nice and easy. I just used my fingers to pull the wiring running down with the factory wiring. All right, we went through here. So what I just used my fingers to push the wiring through there, and then with this finger just meet it. So that way we go on the inside of the plastic. You can also snake it down that way if you want, but basically we don't want the wiring on the outside of this plastic, we want it on the inside. So that's what I was doing. And then it runs through and we meet right there. Put this back. All right, next thing, we will take the tape off of our snake. Free up that wiring. Okay, put that away. So what I like to do is get that almost tight, tap it on here. Where's our light? Where's our... Alright, then we've still got some extra length, so we're just gonna get it roughly to the same length as the other plugs, and then bundle the excess length up. All right, you can even tape it to the harness. All right, make sure you plug in antenna, only goes one way. So we've got antenna plugged in, power speakers plugged in, 2 plugs we're not going to use. We can tape them to the loom, alright, just so they don't rattle around. Put that stuff down. Next thing, USBs. So we have 2 USBs that are actually connected to the unit itself. So what we'll do is get the unit fairly close, get these USBs together, and we're going to look inside the glove box at where we can run through. Okay, so the only option available for this glove box is to drill a hole through the side here, and we can run them both through. Just because of the way that it's set up, there's no real entrance point. It's all just one big sealed off box. If you want to run your USBs somewhere else, you can run them underneath here, put them in the center console if you want, you name it. But for this case, what we're going to do is on the side of the glove box here, drill a hole. Just look on the other side of that. Make sure we've got plenty of room, there's no wiring running through there, anything like that. Grab out the old torch. Okay guys, USBs have been run into the glove box, so a lot of cases they are pretty easy to get into the glove box. Basically, just straighten that up. The glove box will come down, there'll be two little clips, you can open it and you can actually get behind the glove box and run them in that way. In this case we've got a sealed off glove box. I've just put a hole in the side here, run the USBs through. Alright, so they've got plenty of length on them, we can tuck them away, so if the customer has a cord, they can plug the phone in, alright, then they can close the glove box. Cord's coming out, they can run it, you know, along here, even down there, to their phone holder or wherever they want. So that's why we do it there. Okay, close that up. So now we can start plugging in our bits and pieces. Like I said, we are doing a reverse camera, so don't mind that. I will be doing that after. If you want to a video on that, like I said, just drop a comment. So power plug goes into power, obviously. Wheel remote goes into the blue where it has a remote next to it. Okay, mic into the mic position. We could have put a little bit more length on that, but that's all right. And just fold that up. And antenna. So we've got antenna, USBs run, microphone, steering wheel remote, power. And we just have to set those dip switches if you remember before. So what we can do is maybe even, okay, so we're just going to sit that there. Ignition on. Alright, Sony unit will boot up. So first thing we want to do is grab out the instructions it came with. Okay, we'll start with the first configuration. So we've got configuration 1, so 1, 2, 3 off, and so if we look here, off is down, so 1, 2, 3 down, 4 up, and 6 and 7 up. Alright, then what we want to do is unplug the power plug from the module. Plug it back in, this will reset it. And now we just need to test every... Alright, so volume up and down works. Source, maybe. Alright. So that doesn't work. Alright, so half of them don't work. So we'll try the next one. Okay guys, so basically what we did is I went to configuration 1 and a lot of the buttons worked, but not everything. So in the unit, I've saved this, but what I did was just, let's go start from fresh. Settings, general, steering wheel control, changed it to custom, press the settings button, and then you press and hold volume up, and then it will beep, then you press volume up. Press and hold volume down, it will beep, blah blah blah, all the way, and I did all of the buttons. Now that's been set, so if we go okay, everything's gonna work. Now what we will do is look at how this mounts. I'm just going to tape up that wire and get this thing back together, and we're pretty much done. Alright, as we said at the start, we saved those screws, so we've got them here. Got our trusty little drill. Alright, or screwdriver, whatever you've got. Alright guys, we've got the fascia. We won't forget that plug. So what we want to do is bring it sort of out here and then just slowly start lining up our clips. Alright, we can see where it sort of wants to fall in place. Alright, look at that. That's in. And so we have a perfect fitment of that unit. Alright, we just go ahead, run our finger along, check all the clips, make sure they're in properly. Plug that plug back in. That's all clips. Okay, tidy up the area, put your tools away. blah blah blah. All right, this has 2 little feet. They'll have a house inside here. There you go, they just click right in, as we see. Right, we start lining up our clips. 1, 2, 3. Done. Alright. That's it. They're in. Alright, that's the little airbag thing. Just put that back where it was. Not hard at all, guys. Just double check that. Rub it back up. This panel, 1, 2, 3, 4 feet. They line up, and then bang, bang, bang. Click the clips in. Press home. Tuner. So we've got great reception. So we'll go through, test all of the features, make sure everything works. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's the install, that's how you do it. If you want to see the wiring done slow motion and everything explained, just go through our list of videos. I do have a video showing you that. If you want to see a review on the unit, go through our list of videos. We've got a review on the unit. And that's pretty much it. If you want to see more installation videos and how we do things, drop a comment below. We'll be happy to help. And I'm not going to finish this because we're going to pull this back out and we're going to do the reverse camera. If you want to see a video on how to do the reverse camera, let us know. Drop a comment below and I'll be happy to do that. And that's about it. So thank you for watching, guys. If you like the video, like it, subscribe to the channel, it helps us out, and we'll catch you in the next one.